Okay, we're going to do an isometric sketch today, a basic crate. And before I begin, I like to sketch some lines just in the corner of the paper, light, medium, and heavy, in order to warm up and also to practice the three weights. So I'm going to do some light lines to begin with, as light as I can run my pen across the paper. If your pen will not allow you to make light lines, then you need to get a different pen. And there's some at the back of the classroom. And then some medium ones and some really heavy ones. You really want to be able to make those three different weights in order to draw isometric sketches well, because we use the lightest ones to begin with, and then we come back in with the medium weights and the heavy weights to pick out the design that we want later on. The lightest one's the most important one because that gives you your guidelines, and that's what we're going to use today for our basic crate. Oh, I zoomed in a little bit too much. Back out a little bit. Okay, now the technique we're going to use has 5 steps. The first step is to put in an upside down T on your paper so that you have a vertical and a horizontal reference. I'm going to sketch in, again, using the light line, vertical and horizontal reference. The second step will be to put in a couple of lines from that corner at a 30-degree angle. And the angle doesn't matter so much. It should be about 30 degrees because that makes it look realistic to our eyes. It's natural to do 45 because that divides everything in half, and that's easy for our eyes to see. But the 30-degree, when you're drawing the cube, will look more natural. The 45 will be far too sharp. So we're going to do 30 degrees this side, and then we're going to go 30 degrees out the other side. That's about 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock on a clock, if that helps you visualize it. You'll notice I'm not worried about crossing lines. That's because I'm using my lightest lines to come out. I just want them to meet at the same point. I'm not worried about the length of them so much yet. We started with our T. We put in the 30 degrees. Now we need a pair of vertical lines to match that first one. So we're going to sketch in 2 more verticals. And in this case, we want to make a cube. So they should be about the same distance from that center point. So we'll go sketch a parallel line to this vertical center line here on each side. There we go. Now we have 3 verticals in parallel. So we're also going to need 3 parallels to the 2 30-degree lines that we've created. So I'm going to come in, I'm going to ghost over the existing line by holding my pen up. And ghost over this line by practicing. My pen's not touching the paper. I'm just practicing the angle of that line so that I get used to it with my arm. And then I can just move my arm up where I want it to be and put my pen down on the paper and sketch the line in. Again, I'm not worried about the length. I'm more worried about where the crosses are coming and that it's a straight line. So I'll ghost over this side. Again, I'll put my pen down and draw it in. Now we have the 3 verticals. We have 2 for each of the 30-degree angles. We need the back one now. Again, I'm just going to ghost over the line that's there and move back to where I want the other line to begin, and put my pen down and draw it in. And likewise for the last line, I'll ghost over, move back, put my pen down and draw it in there. So now I have my crate drawn in my lightest weight lines. And I want to pick out my drawing. If this had been a more complex drawing, I would use the crate as a guideline and build the drawing inside the crate. But in this case, the crate is my drawing. So I'm going to use my medium weight line, come back in, and pick out the parts of the lines that belong to my drawing. So I'm going to come in and just fill in everywhere that my lines were lines that I want to keep. So now I am worried about having the lines come to the corners and not go past them, making sure that the weights of the lines are pretty similar. And there's my cube. And you can see that the cube stands out from those lightweight guidelines quite easily on the page. They can help me understand the 3-dimensionality of my drawing, especially if the drawing is more complex inside the crate. But the heavyweight, lightweight system of lines makes it easy to see what the design is, even though I've written in all of those guidelines for myself.